Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast but didn't know where to start? Well, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor is your one-stop shop for podcasting. They have tools that you can edit, add music, all right from your phone or your computer. They'll even distribute your podcast so that it can be heard everywhere like Spotify, Apple, and even on Google. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Good morning, everybody. This is morning coffee.
It's time to pour it, stir it up, and serve it up. This is the Morning Coffee Podcast Show, your unofficial wake-up call. Here to help you live your best life and revolutionize your relationships, faith, inspiration, and love. Start your day the right way with Morning Coffee. Here's your host, Tanisha R. Atkins.
Good morning. You are tuned in to the Morning Coffee Live Show. I'm the host, Tanisha R. Atkins, back with another great episode for you this morning. Welcome over to my podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, I want to invite you to connect with us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram at Morning Coffee Live Show, and we're also on Twitter now. Our Twitter handle is Start Your Day Off, because that's what we help you do here at Morning Coffee. We help you to start your day the right way. Well, we are in season 4. This is season 4 of Morning Coffee. This season we're talking all about we're all in this together. If you're family, if you're on your job, if you are whatever group or organization that you are a part of, we want to help you to adapt the mindset. We want to help you to program your mind to being togetherness, because there is so much power in unity. So that's what we've been talking about this season. We just started a brand new series yesterday called Warning, Parental Advisory, Beware of the Parent Trap. It was a super cool episode. Be sure to go check it out. We're going to continue talking about that today. Yesterday, we just kind of talked about how, as parents, it's your job to raise your children. Like, children are going to grow no matter what, but you literally have to raise them, especially us in the Christian community, because the Bible tells us to train up a child in the way that they should go. And so as a parent, you have to take that very seriously. So I just want to talk a little bit more about that today before we, as we continue to go into the series, you'll hear me talk more and more about it. But, as parents, you have to make sure that you are programming your children's mind. And how do you do that? By doing the best you can to control their environment. You have to control who they're around, what they're looking at, what they're watching. The more and more you feed on things, the more and more those things get in your heart, those things get in your mind, those things get in your spirit. The Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So sometimes, when our children start talking foolish things, and when they start, as the old saying goes, talking out the side of their neck, 9 times out of 10, they've put their eyes or their ears to something that probably wasn't the best thing for them to feed on. And so, as parents, we have to remember that there's always influence going on in the world. You have social media that's an influence. You have their teachers, people at school, people from your community, people from your church community, maybe your friends that they hang around. Like, there's always an influence around. So you have to do the best that you can to control that influence, because not all influence is good influence. That's the thing. Some people there, they influence you a bad way. Example given. If you have a friend and that friend has a child around about your age, but that friend, talks back to the parent, that's not a good influence for your child to be around. We have to get real about that, and that parent, maybe that parent doesn't correct that child. Well, your child will see that, and, sometimes they'll try it, and you may say, well, I wish my kid would, but sometimes those things are influences, and we don't even realize it. So you have to, as a parent, part of you not falling into that parent trap is by taking control of who's influencing them. Like on TV at home, what are you watching on TV? What are your children seeing you watching? Are you watching a bunch of movies where they cursing each other out and killing each other and all those things? So we think that those things are not effective, but what goes in comes out. So, and not that you just have to sit up and watch just Christian television all day, but you definitely want to be mindful of what your children is watching. You don't want to be watching a bunch of sexual content and all those things in front of your children. Let's just keep it real. Like, that's going to create desires in them. It creates desires in adults. And we just have to get real about the issues, where these issues are coming from somewhere. And you can't control every given moment and second of your child's life, but you can do the best you can to control the influences and talk to your children. Have conversations, Sometimes we want to hide things from children, let the adults handle it. But sometimes you need to bring the child in and let the child know what's going on. If you're having hard times at home, talk, not that you want the child to be burdened, but this is the opportunity for you to teach them about getting in agreement with each other. Hey, right now, this is what's going on. We need to come in agreement and believe God for this situation to get better. And you teach your children that some days, all days are not perfect days. Sometimes you go through things. Don't hide those experiences from your children. Let them partake in that as much as you can. I'm not telling you to go into a whole bunch of detail about it, but as much as you can, let them in on a little bit, and y'all get together as a family and pray. It goes back to that we're all in this together. They are a part of the family. There's some things that they should know, and as well as some things that they should not know. But I'll leave that up to you, to decide that. Well, this is going to be a quick morning coffee for you this morning, because I want you to really marinate and meditate on what I'm saying and ask yourself, who's really influencing my child? You also need to remember that you are an influence to your child. So like we talked about yesterday, the things that you do, the things that you say, the way that you conduct your affairs, the way that you conduct business. If you're lying to people in front of your children know when you're lying. And you're just lying right in front of them. They're going to say that's going to create, again, those disrespect. Is going to create that separation, because they'll remember that, well, I can't trust mom or dad because you lied. You said in that person's face and lied. So we don't think about things like that. Our children are watching every single thing we do. So don't fall in that parent trap of saying do what I say and not do what I do, because your children are watching. So that's all I got for you this morning. Marinate on that. Share this podcast with some people that have children that need to kind of clean up their family life. Share this podcast and remember to connect with us on social media. Let me know what you thought about today's episode, and we'll be back tomorrow for more continuation on this amazing series. We're going to talk more and more about this because we have so much more to say. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Tanisha R. Atkins, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Every day I wake up with purpose, starting my day with faith and inspiration. Wouldn't have it no other way. Live, laugh, love. Let's make the world better. Give somebody a hug. Let's bring the world back together. With morning coffee, let's have morning coffee. Morning coffee. Start your day with faith, inspiration, and love. Start your day with faith,